Hello everyone, this is the Crimson Cure, welcoming you to the Crimson Tower, a place where we keep a feminine foot on the neck of the gynocracy, feminism, and black male misandry. So go ahead, pull up a chair, stay a while, and listen.
We're A-Game, a 100% Black-owned company with an all-natural product and world-class customer service. We're headquartered in California, and we manufacture, package, and ship right here in the United States. We ship to more than 125 distributors worldwide. Normal processing is 2 to 3 days, and we employ virtual tracking until our product is received. So, no matter where you are in the world, here we come, and we're bringing your A-game.
Hey, my Crimsonites, how you doing? How is everybody doing? Hey, Torian, I caught your video about the incel shoot no girl. That's my next video. Thank you, sir. We gonna talk about that. We gonna talk about that, but we just ain't gonna talk about it right now, but we gonna talk about that. You know I got to talk about that. Okay? If you ain't heard the story, you gonna hear it probably tomorrow. But hey, everybody, we got Torian in the house. We got Leotis. We got Miss Kalila. We got Gemini Getting Knowledge. What's going on? Gemini Twin. Dirk Lurkin. We got Dominant. Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullah. We got C. We got Father's Time. We got Malaika. We got Talib was in here. Ramadan Kareem. Hey, Masters. I'm not going to call you me Masters. I'm not, because it's MI, but I like saying me Masters. Is that wrong? I like saying that. Okay, but I won't be disrespectful. It's MI Masters. Hey Greg, hey Aqua, hey brother, truth be told. How are we doing? We have an awesome show today. Because today we are going to officially define toxic femininity. Because I don't think it has an official definition. Nobody wants it to have an official definition, but I'm going to give it a definition. Because when I just Googled it, there is no definition. So y'all get to be part of history. We gonna make history today. But before we make history, can I get the likes up? It's 20 people, 14 likes. Can we get the likes up? Up, 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 up. Hey, tomorrow for war. Okay. So, I can put stuff on the Urban Dictionary, brother, truth be told. I didn't know that I could put stuff on there. Ramadan Kareem, bonafide. The official definition, and I wrote it down. Toxic femininity a state of female nature which operates outside of order, accountability, and logic. Operating in complete chaos without checks and balances, which are typically provided by masculine systems of order and structure. Hey, Dr. Michelle, that right there is the official Crimson Cure definition of toxic femininity. Toxic femininity, a state of female nature which operates outside of order, accountability, and logic, operating in complete chaos without checks and balances, which are typically provided by masculine systems of order and structure. Does everyone agree with that definition? I thought it was a wonderful definition myself. But I tried to capture the true essence of why femininity becomes toxic. And the reason why I thought that this was a show that needed to be done was specifically because we live in an environment that supports women being toxic. Oh, we're going to get into the concept, Miss Khalila. So just hold on, sweetie pie. We are definitely going to clarify and elaborate. Yeah, I need to put some type of copyright on that. I don't know how to do it. Anyway, you heard it here first. It's mine. So that's my intellectual property. But anyways. So the reason why this needed to be a conversation to be had today is because we live in a society that promotes toxic femininity. And the way that we know it promotes toxic femininity is because that is not even an explored concept. Just the idea that a woman could be toxic, that her very femininity can be used in a way that is destructive, that is detrimental to not only herself, but everyone in her environment, is not even a concept that gets explored or discussed. Now, toxic masculinity, on the other hand, gets a full exegesis. Okay? But toxic femininity is almost approached as if, is that a real thing? Can it be women who are toxic? That's a novel idea. What if in another dimension, women could be toxic? I shudder to think. That's where we live. That's how you know we live in a society that actually promotes it. because it's the elephant in the room that no one wants to talk about. And we try to sweep it under the rug as if it doesn't actually exist. Well, it exists. When you have women running around here killing men because they texted another woman on the phone, toxic femininity exists. Okay. The very concept of feminism is toxic femininity. Because the root, and I may do a show on this, how feminism truly devalues women. But I'm going to touch it now. The root of feminism is the devaluing of women by telling women in a covert way that being women is an inherently bad thing to be. To be born a woman is an inherently evil position. And only through attempting to raise yourself to the level of men can you shed the ignominy of being a woman. Feminism is toxic femininity. Because you really don't get more toxic than telling women all the world over that simply being born with a vagina and female nature is something inherently evil and almost subhuman. And in order to achieve humanity and value and worthiness, you must become a man. And the lie that they labor it under is telling women that men think that about them, that men think that women, just women, are inherently bad and that they can't be, they don't respect women because they're women. That men don't respect femininity. That's the lie. See, they captured us with a lie. But they put the lie on men. They told women that men thought this. But that is not true. That is not true. This is a demonic thought and concept pushed out, and everything that has been built on the top of that foundation has led us to where we are today with toxic femininity, where women are running amok and we have no checks and balances. None. Y'all with me so far? Thank you, Torian. Toxic femininity is so bad that they would choose to be labeled by pronouns before being labeled female. Exactly. Because I'm going to clarify that last sentence that I wrote for the definition, which was operating in complete chaos without checks and balances, which are typically provided by masculine systems of order and structure. What I'm talking about is that female nature is only contained by masculinity, whether that masculinity is divine in nature or human in nature. Because I've talked before about the divine masculine. See, in this feminism driven world, we only hear about the divine feminine, but there is a divine masculine. The Most High, whether you are Christian, Jew, or Muslim, and including other spiritual systems, not all, but there are others outside of what is commonly referred to as the Abrahamic religions, where the concept of the Most High is considered masculine and is referred to by masculine pronouns. Even in the Quran and in Islam, where we don't view Allah as anthropomorphic. He's not a man. However, even in Quran, Allah refers to itself as a he. Allah refers to itself in the masculine, not the feminine. Because in masculinity is inherent authority and order. In femininity is inherent chaos and disorder. So masculinity contains two among many things: authority and order. Femininity contains followership and chaos. We are the opposite. Are we with me so far? I need it to be understood. I'm coming from the concept of the divine masculine, which among many other traits contain two key traits: authority and order. Femininity contains two key traits: followership, chaos. Only the masculine systems of order and structure provide the checks and the balances to female nature, because masculinity contains order and femininity does not. We are chaos. We contain chaos. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying that's what it is. I'm not saying it's bad. We have to be the opposite because we complement masculinity. And it is systems, orders, and structures that actually provide the construct that allows femininity to be beneficial and purposeful rather than toxic. Because we naturally contain chaos, we need order. What we have today is femininity without any constraint. There is no constraining SOS. So now you have feminine chaos. And what does that contain? What is that comprising of? That comprises of things like illogic, we can point out many instances of lack of logic. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Case in point, we want men to approach us for relationships, we want them to do the approaching. We want them to initiate the flirting. We want them to initiate sexual contact. Also, men are very prone to getting into trouble for initiating sexual contact, initiating flirting, initiating relationships. Illogical. How is it on the one hand you want men to do this, and on the other hand you can report him to HR for doing this? Not logical. One minute you like him to be feeling on your butt. Okay? Like that song, feeling on your booty, like you like that. But if the guy that you don't like feels on your booty, you're gonna tell. He either can or he can't. You either like that approach or you don't. There are many, many other cases of illogical applications of thought stemming from the chaos of females. The other part of it is lack of accountability. That's all over the place. That's all over the place. I shouldn't have to give you any examples of that. Because in 2021, we still have women not taking accountability for birthing children. In a time where on the law, on the books, no one can force a woman to have a child or be a mother at any stage of gestation or birth. We have the option of completely preventing pregnancies through birth control. Then after the pregnancy, we have the option of abortion. Then after the birth of the child, we have the option of adoption, giving the child away. But you have women in 2021 that still swear down that they are having a bunch of kids because of the men, not because of they're not watching their wombs. No accountability. Okay? There's no order to anything. There's no logic to anything. I read an article probably about a week ago where I think it was in, I forgot what state it was in, where the legislation was saying that you can't block minors from having gender reassignment surgery. I want you to absorb that. Was it Arkansas? I want to say it was Arkansas. But anyway, minors could not be blocked from receiving gender reassignment surgery. Minors. Minors were to be able to receive any range of healthcare because they logged it under healthcare not elective surgeries, not cosmetic surgeries, but health care to help them. Are y'all having problems? I'm not having any problems with buffering. You might want to reboot. So, a minor is able to receive puberty blocking medications, hormone treatments, all the way up to and including gender reassignment surgeries, but these same minors are not able to consent to sexual activity. Nor can they drive, nor can they work, nor can they drink legally. But they can opt in for gender reassignment surgery. Not logical. Because if they too young to consent to a relationship, a sexual encounter, too young to drink, too young to drive, too young to work, how are they old enough and mature enough to come to their own decision and conclusion to say, I want gender reassignment surgery, something that is going to impact me for the rest of my natural life, and I'm mature enough and old enough to make that decision, but God forbid I take a drink. Because that was a part of what the legislation was fighting, that minors can't do it. Like, you have to wait until you are legally an adult to make that decision. Which, if you must say it makes sense, then that makes sense. At least they're grown. But they call themselves masculine underneath. Well, the teenagers and stuff commit a lot of suicide because of the gender dysphoria. Now, how you trying to make, this is another point of illogic, how are you trying to normalize a mental health condition as a normal part of the human spectrum of sexuality when it's still in the DSM and you still treat it underneath mental health care? You still call it gender dysphoria. It has not been eliminated from the vocabulary of psychology and psychiatry. Complete illogic, no accountability, no order, no structure. This is why that definition is appropriate. Because the checks and the balances have been removed. Because if we lived in a society that had masculine, effective SOS, this wouldn't be happening. And it definitely wouldn't be going by unchecked and unchallenged. It certainly would not be happening free willy-nilly. There would definitely be pushback because the masculine contains also foresight. We can't allow this to happen because it's a slippery slope. And if we open this door, several hundred other doors open behind that we don't want to deal with. We don't want no smoke from them doors. So what we gonna do is we're gonna keep these doors closed because we can't open all of the floodgates. But part of the chaos of female nature is operating almost solely in emotionalism. So we got stuff getting on the books based on emotion that is being disguised as ethical and moral. So we have legislation and attempts at legislation that are not based on sound logic and foresight, but more so based on female emotionalism that is cloaked in morality and ethics. Hey, Miss Bunny. Parrish, thank you. Said New York legislators are considering passing punitive measures for lying in relationships. The government wants population control. They got it. All of that legislation that sprung up behind Me Too and all of these sexual harassment types of rules and regulation bylaws, you know what I'm saying, company policies, all these different policies or whatever, all is coming from female emotionalism. 1 minute that stuff is okay, the next minute it's not. And it's not being based on this is sound logic, we're using foresight, let's put these policies in place in order to prevent some real issues from really coming about, or at least we can mitigate some consequences for these things. So when we have legislation being put on the books that tell us that minors shouldn't be stopped from receiving health care, which includes gender reassignment surgery, that is an emotional thing being cloaked in morality and ethics. And saying that it's immoral to stop a person from being who they really are, from self-actualization. Are y'all with me? Am I making sense to y'all? Put them on. I need some participation. They cloaking it under it is immoral and unethical to deny a human being, even if they are a minor, from self-actualization. This is why Biden was signing them executive orders like that. Executive orders that not only addressed the alphabet community like Obama did, but to go several steps further and specifically address transgender issues. That's why they had that hashtag Biden erased women. I did a video on it. Biden erased women. By saying, hey, if they're women, then they have to be able to do all the things that women do. So then that opened up the floodgates for them to go into sports and all of these different arenas that used to be female only or separated by gender. Now they're not separating it by gender, or they say they are, but that Tea Party male to females are actual females and should be considered as such, notwithstanding the extra amount of testosterone that they actually have, no matter how many inhibitors they take. Why am I talking to y'all about this? Because all of this has given way to toxic femininity. Not only is it a concept, it's the order of the day. See, they trying to gaslight like toxic femininity is not really a thing, and we gotta explore whether or not this is an actual thing that exists. Not only is it the actual thing that exists, it is the order of the day. A woman that isn't operating under toxic femininity is seen as an aberration. That's how common it is. Okay? It's nothing but toxic femininity now, because it is considered unreasonable for a woman to place herself even voluntarily underneath the guidance and the order of a man, whether that be a personal relationship or some sort of group thing or religious thing or any of that. It is considered undesirable for a woman to say that she's going to place herself under the leadership of a man. This is why Jeannie Mai got so much pushback from saying, I'm gonna submit to my husband. A man she's allowing to choose her. She's agreeing to this relationship. She's agreeing to place herself and her femininity underneath the leadership and the order of her husband. And that was the talk of the town. Why was it the talk of the town? Because she was saying something that is considered an aberration. I did the chart the other day with the relationship types: leadership, partnership, followership, and opponentship. We did that. See, all of my content it has continuity. Okay, it all goes together. I don't make videos and live streams in a vacuum. I don't forget what I said 24 hours ago. And we said that the percentage of women who see their men as the leader was about 5%. Jeannie Mai is falling in that 5%. Exactly, Bonafide. Fantasia falls in that. She went from partnership to leadership. I forgot about Fantasia. That's my girl. Fantasia went from considering partnerships to be an optimal relationship type to leadership. I can't just look at my man where there's no leader, no follower, because this has not worked for me. What will work for me, instead of moving to followership or opponentship, she moved to leadership. It makes more sense for me to place myself under the leadership of a man. And she got cussed out by the sisterhood. They basically canceled Fantasia for that. This is why Fantasia ain't blowing up, because of her singing ability and her ability to perform. She should be as big as Beyonce or bigger. But because she has value traits, I've listened to her talk, especially within the last couple of years. She has discovered her value system and raised her value as a woman. The sisterhood canceled her for that. She stopped singing them bitter, "My nigga left me" songs. She stopped singing them. Because that's the kind of music that the sisterhood want to hear from her, and she won't do it. And then she started singing love songs. They didn't support that. Okay? So we are in the age of toxic femininity. Because you got the sisterhood will cancel a talented woman like Fantasia. And we know we like her singing. We know we like her singing because she got old school singing. If you watch any of her performances, any of her tributes that she's done to Aretha Franklin or Patti LaBelle, the talent is obvious. But the sisterhood won't support her because she's not engaging in toxic femininity anymore. She done went somewhere and settled down with her man in a relationship where she see him as the leader. Then they wanted to cast aspersions on him. Well, he seemed like he manipulating her. He seemed like that man ain't doing nothing to her that she don't want done. Okay? That man ain't doing nothing to Fantasia that Fantasia don't want done. And if she like it, I love it. Thank you, Kalanji Kala. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brother Truth Be Told, for the Cash App. But they supported Beyonce. Why? Because Beyonce was a proponent in her music of toxic femininity. She always pushed feminist ideas. If I was a boy, that kind of craziness. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. Don't be mad cause you see that he want it. I'm a woman who independent. Throw your hands up at me. But she's in a relationship where she's in leadership. She sees Jay-Z as her leader. She told you to get into partnerships and followerships. She's not in that. She's in a situation where he's the leader. She don't run Jay-Z. You think Beyonce run Jay-Z? No. He don't even look like she run him. That ain't even the vibe. She sat down somewhere and had them kids. It was she did. And she's like in semi-retirement. Okay. And she's somewhere shutting up, raising them babies, and doing what Jay-Z tell her to do. That's what Beyonce doing. She told you to tell your man everything you want in a box to the left. She told you, don't you ever for a second get to thinking you're irreplaceable. You must not know about me. You must not know about me. She told you to tell that to your man. You think she telling Jay-Z to say that? I don't care nothing about her little Lemonade song talking about Becky with the good hair. She with him, ain't she? Ain't leave. She told you, and your goofy self tells your man, you must not know about me. Girl, knock it off. No, Solange wasn't running Jay-Z. Jay-Z just ain't stupid enough to haul off on her while a camera is going. We don't know what happened when they got out that elevator. If Jay-Z didn't get that far being no idiot, he ain't finna lose what he got and be drugged and be sued and all that kind of stuff. Just, you know what I'm saying, to belt her one while that camera's going. He ain't stupid. And Solange is toxic. That's why she pretty as a picture and can't keep no man. You wonder why. She make all them little songs and, you know, try to be bohemian and try to have peace and incense. And I bet you she a Hellcat. She look like one. Anytime you hitting your sister's man, you done got up enough nerve to be hitting on your sister's man. Girl, if you don't sit down somewhere and knock it off. How you thought you was in the right to hit your sister's man? That ain't even none of your man. At the end of the day, that you ain't got nothing to do with whatever's going on in their relationship. That's when I was done with Solange, because I ain't know nothing about her. I just kind of heard a little bit of music, kind of like her music a little bit. I said, oh, okay, you know, she kind of, you know, she under the shadow of Beyonce, so there ain't really nothing she can do about that. But, you know what I'm saying, her music is kind of cool. Then she did that, I was done with her. Like, girl, bye. I don't care what was going on. What you thought was going on? You just gonna up and just start hitting on that man like you lost your mind. Toxic femininity. So we're living in this age. They trying to gaslight like, you know, we gotta discover and do research on whether or not there's a such thing as toxic femininity when it's all around us. It's femininity that is operating outside of the checks and balances of masculine systems, orders, and structures. When you got women that's dictating what's good for them and what ain't good for them, and they're not looking at any law, not divine law and not man-made law. They're not going by anything, just my emotions from day to day on what's good for me today and what's going to be good for me tomorrow. Literally like letting children run the world. Letting the inmates run the asylum. Will we put children in positions of power and let them run everything? No. And why wouldn't we do that? Because children are not mature enough. They don't think far enough ahead to be put in situations where they are in leadership positions. And really, it's the same thing with women. When women are out of order, we don't belong in positions of leadership and authority like that. So I really just wanted to come by and let y'all know that there is now an official definition of toxic femininity on the books. Does anyone have anything they want to say before we start wrapping this up? I'll give a minute or two. By the way, while I wait to see if anybody got anything to say, guess what I bought for myself? Ooh, I'm going to show y'all when I get them. If I get them, they better ship them too. Guess what I bought? I had just got the notion. I was like, ooh, I want some of these. I bought some shell toe Adidas. They super cute too. They just black and white. But I had to go back and give me some shell toe Adidas because I wanted some more Cortezes, because the ones I got real raggedy. They about 6 or 7 years old. So I wanted some more Cortezes, and I was trying to shop for Cortezes, but I wasn't really finding what I wanted. It's almost like they don't want to sell them no more, and it's like, for real? Come on now. Cortezes are kind of an iconic shoe. So how you not going to sell Cortezes or be sketchy about selling some Cortezes? Like, knock it off, right? So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get some shell toes. So I bought some black and white shell toe Adidas. They had some real cute ones, but then they ain't have them in my size. Like, how you gonna have some real cute? They was real girly too. Like, they had some real girly shell toe Adidas when they was pink and had like watercolor paint colors on them, and it was real cute. And I was like, ooh, I'm gonna give me some real cute shell toe Adidas, and how they was in a size 5. Now come on now. I don't wear no size 5. Boop boop boop. I don't wear no size 5. Okay? Knock that off. I wear like, in women's, I wear like a 9.5, 10 or something like that in women's shoes. I have to go to a man's shoe to wear like a 8 or a 9. So I got me some shell toes. So when they come, I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to probably put it on my community tab or something like that. Show y'all my shell toes. I want some more shoes too. I'll probably give me some more Air Maxes. Yeah, Bonafide, that's called the spiritual strag. See, a Solange is the spiritual strag. You know, they always got little sage burning and talking about bad energy when they be the main demon in the room. Oh, you got some black and white shell toes too, Crystal? Yeah. The Air Maxes, and I'm talking about the 90s style Air Maxes. That's the only kind of Air Maxes I like. So nobody has nothing to say about the definition. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, actually, because that's why I'm talking about my shoes, because I was giving people a chance to comment about the definition. But I'm going to actually wrap this up. And when I get them, I'm going to have to bump some Run DMC, my Adidas. Like, y'all have to play that and have my shell toes. Because that's who made shell toe Adidas popular for us. It was Run DMC. If you old enough, you know that. You know that Black folk like shell toe Adidas because of Run DMC. So, since no one has anything to say right now, I know that you're going to have something to say in the comments. So, I want everybody to sound off in the comments after this. Do you agree with the definition of toxic femininity? Do not steal it. I'm probably going to have to try to copyright it or trademark it or something like that, so y'all content thieves don't peddle my definition and act like you came up with it and you know who you are. Content thieves, little conflict creators running around here stealing folks' content. I know I got a beady eye. I got a beady eye on my definition. Don't think I don't know and don't remember my definition. If I see it anywhere without credit being given, I'm gonna come for you. So just understand that part right there. But anyway, I want everybody else to sound off in the comment. Tell me if you agree or you disagree with the definition of toxic femininity, or is there a such thing as toxic femininity in your opinion? Also, this show has been brought to you by A Game, which is a male herbal solution. And when I say herbal, I mean herbal. I mean there's nothing in this that is not good for you, that is not healthy. There are no additives. There are no sugars, caffeines. It doesn't have like aspartame or none of these other harmful or placebo type ingredients or things that make you crash or make you not feel very well after you take it. One pill lasts for 72 hours. You heard that. So if you are a guy, whether you're in the chat room right now or listening to the playback, ask around in the manosphere. This is taking the manosphere by storm. The men who have gotten on their A game can tell you about A game. So how you get A game is you go into the description box and you click the link for A game at agameherbal.com, and you get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10 at checkout. So that's KENDRA, the number 10 at checkout to get your A game. And ladies, do the same for the men in your life. They will love you forever and a day. If you get them something that helps their vitality, their strength, their mental focus, and their libido, they're not gonna know how to thank you. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for coming through. I want to thank everyone for contributing, the cash apps, the super chats. Thank you, Darko Polo, for the cash app. Thank you so much. And with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.